What up, YouTube? Patrick here, and it is time to talk about today's massive market correction. I mean, look at this. It is a bloodbath out there. Everything in the red today. It was actually worse a few hours ago, earlier this morning for me. And let me start by answering two questions that everyone's going to ask, which is, how low is it going to go? No one knows. And how long is it going to last? No one knows. If people tell you otherwise, they're probably wrong. It's very difficult, almost impossible to time the market. There's a saying that time in the market is greater than timing the market. I think that's true. You just got to get in there with a strategy. In my case, pick technology companies you believe in for the long term and follow that strategy no matter what happens. Trying to buy low and sell high, which is what you're supposed to do, it's very hard to do because people's mind, there's a crazy psychological phenomenon. When everything is going up, people are like, oh, it's good, I gotta buy in now. Like, the train is going, it's not gonna stop, so let me buy. You don't want to buy at the all-time high because it's the all-time high. It's got to come back down. And when things are going low, mentally people are like, no, I don't want to invest in that. It's failing, it's crashing. People don't know what they're talking about. But if you have your strategy, you've done the research, and you know the technology or whatever is solid. I'm not saying this is for Bitcoin necessarily, because I personally don't believe in Bitcoin long term, but in general, if you have that strategy, you got to stick to that strategy, and I think you'll do just fine. I've been doing just fine. Even though, yes, on paper I lost a lot of money this week, but I'm not in it for short-term gains. I'm in here for years. I don't care. This doesn't matter to me. But yes, it's also important to keep in mind that this really isn't a huge crash either. If you've been here for a month even, Bitcoin's price was about $8,000 at the beginning of the month, and it spiked to, let's see, 20,000, which is a ridiculous amount of gains in 1 month. Something's wrong there. And now it's back down to 13,000, 14,000. I think it hit 11,000 at some point, but from the beginning of the month, you're still green. So there's that. But yes, I understand that if you bought here in the last few days or whatever, this is scary. What's going on? And okay, what's going on? We really don't know. There's some different theories. Some people are saying that institutional investors, now that the futures market is out there and available, they set up their contracts to short Bitcoin on the futures market, meaning that if Bitcoin goes down, they make money. And since they have massive amounts of Bitcoin, they then sell that Bitcoin, which puts downward pressure on the market. People will then see, oh, it's going down, I gotta sell. So they sell, more downward pressure, and it becomes a downward cycle as other people are like, ooh, at that price, I want to sell before I lose too much money. People keep selling. So some people are saying that's what's going on. We don't know for sure. The other part of this too is that Bitcoin is tied to every other alt. So even though Bitcoin is the one seeing a lot of the action, all these other altcoins are connected to Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes down, lots of times these other coins go down. Let me show you an example here. So Rayblox, you'll see that in order to get Rayblox, you first have to have Bitcoin. And that's how it is for a lot of coins. There's only a few coins and a few exchanges that allow you to go straight from USD, US dollars, to the coin of your choice. And when you sell these coins, you sell them for Bitcoin. And so that's part of the reason why we see all the coins taking a hit today, because they're all tightly related. Of course, sometimes you'll see it go in the opposite direction, where one or two coins go up when everything else is going down, or like with Bitcoin Cash this week, when it came out on Coinbase, it went up massively and everything else was seeing red because people were pulling out of those coins to try and catch the wave of Bitcoin Cash. So sometimes that happens. As you follow cryptocurrency and markets and stuff like that, you'll see these kinds of trends over time, and it makes more and more sense. And if you day trade, I guess you could probably make a lot of money on that. I don't really do that though. It could just be this craziness that's going on. I mean, yesterday there was an article that said there was a company, Long Island Iced Tea, I think, on the regular stock market. They renamed themselves to Long Blockchain Core and said that they would focus on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency mining, all that kind of stuff, and their stock tripled. And that's ridiculous. That's like the dot-com boom in the 90s, where companies were literally renaming themselves to have .com in the name and getting massive amounts of cash because all these investors with tons of money, they want to make a quick buck. They don't do the research. They throw money at everything in there to hope that one thing sticks. And then you get the dot-com boom and crash like we had in the 90s. And the same thing's going on here. I think this was a needed and coming and welcome correction. But we'll see. We don't know how long it'll last, or we don't know for sure that it'll go back up. I think it will, but we'll see. So that's the other thing. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. People, when Bitcoin was going up and it was at 20,000 this last week or so, people were trading like 401ks and mortgages and student loans and stuff for Bitcoin. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. And let me explain that why in with this graph. When Bitcoin first hit $1,000, it was 2013. Look at this, December 2013. The same hype cycle that happened just recently was happening here with news and people excited for $1,000. Let's sell everything. Take your student loans. Take regular loans. Take credit cards. Buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin. It's going up. It's going up. And then boom, there was a crash. And look how long this crash lasted. It didn't get to $1,000 again until 2017. That's almost 3 years. It's 2 to 3 years right here where it never got back to the all-time high. That is why you don't invest more than you can afford to lose. It's crazy. Be smart. Pick a strategy and stick to it. So what should you do with the markets as they are? Well, it depends. If you still believe in certain coins and their technologies and the fundamentals haven't changed, which I don't think they have for the coins I believe in, Ripple, IOTA, Ray blocks, all that stuff, there's still value. If you have extra cash, when it's down, that's a great time to buy. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. If you don't have extra cash, stick to your regular strategy. In my case, my strategy is buy every week, no matter if the price goes up, price goes down, whatever. And I reevaluate like quarterly, or probably more than that. But I reevaluate the underlying technology, the teams, all that to figure out if this is something I want to put my money in for long term. But if you do that, and just dollar cost average is what it's called, just buy regardless of the price and do it over some period of time, just keep buying, I think you'll be just fine. I've been doing this since before 2013, since college, 2012, 2013, I don't know. And I've made a lot of money here. And I'm still not selling. I'm just buying technologies I believe in. I do reallocate, like I did just recently, out of Bitcoin to others because I'll do a video on this, but because I don't believe in technology's fundamentals. Maybe you do, which means you buy Bitcoin. But don't listen to what other people say. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Do your own research and figure out what you think has long-term value. Does it solve a problem? Does it have a good team? Is it realistic? Is what it's trying to do actually solving the problem it claims to be solving? All that stuff. Yeah, that's about it. There's really not much else to talk about. There's a lot of theories, but no real evidence of what's going on. We've seen boom and bust, bubbles and bursts many times. It's kind of hard to see on a graph like this, but bubble, 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 burst, bubble, 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 burst. It's normal. That's how it goes. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. So as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Peace.